This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
We'll get back to you guys' thoughts and comments on the text board at 609-403-0973. Your DMs into the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. And now is going to be also your first opportunity to win tickets to this Saturday's event, Tropicana in Atlantic City. For the first time in 7 years, the showroom will have boxing. And joining me right now is the man at the top of the card, Justin Figueroa, Atlantic City lifeguard, Holy Spirit High School graduate, joins right here in the Ocean Casino Resort Studios. Justin, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you jumping in. So, first of all, before we get into the details about the event, I want to get to know you a little bit, okay? Because, people here, Larry's going around calling you Mr. Atlantic City, right? And, you are undefeated. You are an up-and-coming fighter. So, first of all, tell us a little bit about how did you get into boxing? Like, what was the moment or the experience that gave you the itch?
Yeah, so at a very, very young age, I lived in a tough neighborhood in Atlantic City and got into a few fights and actually got jumped by a group of 5 kids. And my dad got upset about that. And he knew I was kind of like soft-hearted. He knew I was a good kid. I listened to my parents. So I was just outside playing, and then kids were outside looking for fights. So after that day where I got into that scuffle, my dad kept me in the house for 2 years straight, trained me every single day, boxing training. And then he let me outside for the first time in that 2 years. And I got into a fight the first day I went outside, and I kicked butt through all the training that we did within the 2 years. But, yeah, I started kicking butt all over the neighborhood. Not that I wanted to, but I kind of just had to, living in a tough neighborhood at a young age. And
well, it's do or die.
It was do or die at a young age, living in a tough neighborhood. You have to learn how to defend yourself. So boxing was a great factor for that. And I guess I was a great student with my father, good father and son duo at the time. And he brought me to the gym, and we kept going at it. I had good discipline. I listened to anything that my father said at the time, and we kept on going at it. And I had my first amateur fight at 10 years old when I went out to Florida, fought all over the country as an amateur. I ended my amateur career 37 wins, 5 losses, fought the best in the country. These are future world champions that I've beat. And then I took my skills to the next level and turned professional 2 years. So it's been 2 years since I've been professional now.
Now, you're undefeated coming into this fight on Saturday,
yes.
May 11th. For you, is the undefeated marker like a badge of honor? Or is it something that you realize that it doesn't happen for everybody kind of thing?
I guess, to me, it's kind of marketing. You could use it as marketing.
Okay.
Obviously, when I go in to fight, I'm looking to win. I'm looking to win with a spectacular performance to get a knockout. So it's just been happening and turning, happening in my favor. And, I'm 8-0, 6 knockouts. I look to make it 9-0 with another knockout. But a loss doesn't break you. I think a loss can make you if you decide to let it make you. A loss can be a learning lesson. So if that was to happen to my career, I don't think it would break me. I think it would make me. I'll just go back in the lab, make the adjustments, and look to get ready for the next one.
You talk about learning, right?
Yeah.
For you, what is the biggest thing you have learned from turning pro to now?
My coaches like to say I have God-given ability, God-given talent, and I feel like I was using a lot of that when I was fighting in the amateurs. Amateurs is really quick. You fight 3 rounds only, 3 minutes. It's a very fast pace, so you want to score, and you have a headgear on also in the amateurs, right. And the gloves have a little bit more cushion. So you're not really getting knockouts in the amateurs. It's all about scoring points. So I had quick feet, and I had quick hands, and I was just landing a bunch of punches in the amateurs. So once I turned pro, I started sparring in practice more seasoned professionals that had 15, 20 professional fights. And I would be giving it to them the first 3 rounds. And let's say we're doing 6 to 8 rounds. After those first couple of rounds, then they'll start jumping on me. And I noticed that, I'm beating them amateur style in the first couple of rounds, but they're so calm and composed and taking their time and picking their shots. And they're kind of letting me burn out those first couple of rounds. So I just took from the pros, taking your time. It's big on taking your time. This fight is going to be a 6-round fight, so there's more rounds, so you want to take your time, pick your shots. Obviously, no headgear in the pros, smaller gloves.
Right.
The risk of getting knocked out or hurt is higher than an amateur. So, like I said, you want to slow everything down and pick your shots. It's more chess in the amateurs. In the pros, sorry.
Right, with the pros, exactly. Talking with undefeated junior middleweight Justin Figueroa from Atlantic City ahead of this Saturday, May 11th, Tropicana showroom, where you can watch him in his next fight. Of course, he's one of the top rising fighters in South Jersey, joining us here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. Of course, if you want to win tickets to see Justin fight this Saturday, text in 609-403-0973, and we'll do a drawing a little bit later this hour to announce the winner. Now, Justin, your background outside of boxing, you're obviously more than just a boxer, right? So,
yes.
Holy Spirit High School graduate. So tell everybody about, what was it like? Because, you come from a tough environment.
Yeah.
Then you go to Holy Spirit. That's a completely different animal.
It was very, very different.
So, I know for me, for example, just to give you a little background myself, I'm originally from South Philadelphia. Okay. And when I moved to South Jersey, it was like culture shock for me, right? So I imagine for you, there had to be a little bit of culture shock for you as well, going from having to basically, fight for your keep in Atlantic City to Holy Spirit High School and someone basically judging you of how high your socks are pulled up.
Growing up in Atlantic City, fighting and defending myself, and it was very different going into Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, it cleaned me up and turned me into the man I am today, so I'm very, very thankful for going to Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit has helped me and formed me a lot into the man I am today. But, for example, this is funny, like, when I first got at Holy Spirit, if somebody would bust on you or make fun of you, they're only playing with you. But at the time, I didn't know they were playing with me, so I took it real personal.
Right.
And it took me a little bit to realize everybody plays around with each other. And today, I like to bust around with people now. It's funny. I take it as a joke now. But growing up in Atlantic City, if somebody talked or disrespected you, it was more of a threat.
Right.
But I can say everything calmed down when I went to Holy Spirit. And I had a lot of fun there. Played football, baseball, track, wrestled, and great people over there, great teachers, phenomenal coaches, and it formed me into the man I am today. And hopefully I can be a role model for the younger generation coming up.
Of all the sports you played at Holy Spirit, what was your favorite?
Football. It was such a family environment. I felt like those guys the guys on my team were my brothers, and the coaches were fathers and uncles, and it was just a family environment. I would get chills right before the game. It was the first time I felt passion for a sport. When I was a kid boxing, I only really did it because my dad told me to, and I liked winning. But when I played in high school, played football in high school, I felt the real passion and the tradition over at Holy Spirit, and I had a great time. I wouldn't change it for anything.
Now, after high school, obviously there's a gap between becoming Mr. Atlantic City undefeated junior middleweight fighter and leaving high school and that whole environment, because you go through one experience growing up, you go through another experience at Holy Spirit. So then what was the next step in your journey?
So after high school, correct?
Yeah, after high school.
So when I first got into high school, it took me some time to make the adjustments that I needed to with school and my grades. I didn't really have anyone at home really on me, pushing me about homework or this or that. And even if they did ask me about homework, I was a kid and kind of hiding around it. But the first 2 years, I didn't do too good with my grades. Then I realized junior, senior year, kind of a little bit of sophomore year, I realized, hey, if I want to go play college football, I need to have good grades also. You can't just be a good player and not have good grades. Right. So I went from having a 2.0 GPA to having a 3.4 GPA. But at the end of the 4 years, it didn't accumulate to the GPA I needed to get into a good school to play football. So I ended up choosing Rowan University. And as I was going to play for Rowan University, I was supposed to leave in the middle of summer to go to the football camp. But I had just made the beach patrol in the middle of the summer. So I was like, you know what, I'm about to go to college. Never had anyone go to college in my family. I want to make a little bit of money on the beach. So I stuck it out at Atlantic City Beach Patrol. Shout out to Atlantic City Beach Patrol. And I didn't get to play college football. But I only lasted about one semester at Rowan University. Like I said, I didn't really have any guidance in college. So I didn't want to waste any time and waste any money. I wasn't sure what I really wanted to do. So that's when I came back home. And at the time, I was 215 pounds, some from football weight, and I would say some, freshman 15. So I was just hitting up the boxing gym because it was right around the corner. The Atlantic City Pal was right around the corner from my house. I was just doing it to get in shape and get the nice beach body going. And I started moving around with the pros in there, and I forgot how good I was. So that's how I got back into boxing. This is back in 2018. So I started moving around with the pros, and I just kept getting inspired. And I'm losing weight, I'm feeling good, I'm looking good. Look good, feel good, fight good.
Right.
And if you fight good, they pay good. But I just saw the potential since day one, and I kept it going. And I just believed in myself, and I have a great team and a great support system. Shout out to my girlfriend, Alexandra, that's sitting next to me. Shout out to everyone that's supporting me and my team. But the main thing is belief. I believed in myself and the potential.
Just full disclosure for the audience, she's blushing over here after you said that. So, but no, that's cool, man. That's cool. When you mentioned about being a lifeguard,
Yeah.
obviously, there's also life lessons from that, right?
Man. Yeah.
So for you, what was something that you took from that? Because I feel like your life story is you're just taking something from everything you've been through, everything you've experienced, and it's kind of helped mold you and prepared you for the next. So for being a lifeguard, what did you take from that?
Oh, being a lifeguard was awesome. I said this before, and it's almost like I don't want to say like a fraternity, but it's like you have that brotherhood on the beach patrol. So I had that on the beach patrol. It was so cool working as a lifeguard, rowing the boats out there. I learned how to surf. I've loved the beach growing up in Atlantic City as a kid, so I love working on the beach. And it helped me grow socially. I talked to a lot of people, got to explain how the beach works to a lot of different people. We get a lot of tourists in the summer. So it helped me open up socially. Even the lieutenants there, man, they don't play around. They make sure you're doing your job and make sure you present yourself very well. They even make you try to tuck in your tank tops in the middle of summer, which some of us don't even like wearing the tank tops in the first place. But also helped me grow as a man. So Holy Spirit High School and Atlantic City Beach Patrol really formed me into the man I am today. And I think I like who I'm becoming.
When you think about now as a professional boxer, you mentioned about all these experiences, right? How much of those experiences do you think puts you in a position mentally to be ahead of where the guy across from you is? Because some of these guys across from you are going to be guys, they didn't play other sports maybe, or maybe they didn't experience some of the things you experienced, right? So how much do you think that is going to help mentally prepare you now for what's to come?
Yeah, like I said, playing at Holy Spirit always brings out a pretty big crowd on football, especially with the Thanksgiving games. So I'm used to being in front of big crowds. I'm used to I don't want to boast, but I'm kind of used to being the star in front of people. So the crowd doesn't really, I don't shy away from the crowd. I'm also working on the beach patrol, big crowds there. So I'm used to being around the people. I'm used to being in the spotlight. That's what I really think it is. Guys, they're going to come to Atlantic City and realize, holy shoot, there's a lot of people in this stadium roaring.
Oh, it's a real professional right there. He censored himself mid conversation there. That's a smooth move.
Yeah.
I had to compliment you. Not everybody could do that. Trust me.
But Saturday,
I've had guys who are double your age and they just drop it on the radio, and you're just like, you're sitting where I'm like, oh, you're scrambling like at the dump button.
Gotcha. But Saturday, I do think this is a big factor. But the house is going to be packed here in Atlantic City. There's going to be a lot of people. And let's try to show the opponent a little bit of love. Let's not scare him too much, because I think my skills is going to do the job itself. But once he comes out into the arena and sees all the people and Atlantic City people, we could boo the opponent sometimes and what's the word I'm looking for? Rumple their feathers.
Get under their skin.
Get under their skin. But that's where I think it really gets
Rumple
the opponents. Ruffle the feathers, something like that.
Yeah.
Ruffle the feathers. There you go. But that's where I think it is. When guys hit that stage and see the lights and hear the crowd, they're like, it's different from sparring in the gym. You could be the champion in the gym sparring, but once you get under them lights and all those people are screaming and you're in the ring with someone who wants to kill you with them little gloves, is a different type of feeling. And I've been doing this since day one.
I love how you said that about how you could be the champ in the gym, but it's when you get in the ring, because I remember, that's something I remember Joe Frazier talking about.
Yeah.
When he first made the jump from the amateur to the pro, because he was in the Olympics, he won the gold medal and everything, and he talked about how he in his mind, I'm gonna be a champ, a champ. But he said then he got in the ring and realized oh shoot, as you put it, these guys are trying to kill me, and that's that's great that you're learning that now.
Yeah.
Because that's a life thing too. In life you learn that, and I mean, listen, I'm older than you, obviously. But, for me, I look at it as, one of the most important things I learned when I was younger is that not everybody's your friend. They want to hang around you because of who you are and what you are, but they're not your friend always. And so what happens along the way is you learn, just like you learn when you were a kid, that sometimes the social environment is also a kill or be killed environment. So some of these lessons you're learning in boxing are also going to, help you outside the ring as well. Not to go on a preachy rant there. But.
No, I loved it. Thank you for that. Big lesson there to take from that. May I add something?
Yeah, go. Yeah.
So along with
microphone's on, man.
Yeah, man. What I added about the crowd for the opponent and stuff, and how I'm used to that. I'm also starting to get more seasoned as a professional. Same thing with me. When I get in front of the crowd and under the lights, my first few fights, I was just going out there swinging big punches, trying to get these guys out of there.
Right.
And sometimes I would whiff. Is that the right word? Whiff?
Whiff, yes.
Yeah. I would whiff. And maybe I would look not so professional because I'm going out there just throwing bombs away. So I'm working with my team and learning from sparring with other professionals and also getting all the experience in my hometown fighting under the lights in Atlantic City. I believe that I am getting very, very seasoned. And this Saturday, you guys will see some very good boxing skills coming from Justin Tom.
Couple more for Justin Figueroa, undefeated junior middleweight, joining us here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. If you want to win tickets to go see him fight this Saturday, Tropicana, Atlantic City showroom, text 609-403-0973. If you don't win, just go to Ticketmaster.com to get your tickets. Gates open at 6:30. First fight at 7:30. Now, a couple more if I let you go. So I saw your fight against Jeff Lentz. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought that was one of the most important moments in your boxing career.
Yeah.
Personally, because you had to learn what it was like to survive in the ring. Like you've survived in life. Now you're learning to survive in the ring, and it was. Not to embellish it, but it was almost like a movie situation where it was like you see in a movie the character, whether it's like the Creed movie or something like that, where you have that moment you realize this is different. Like I'm in a different environment. So take the audience listening what it was like for you in that moment, going through that, realizing that the guy on the other side of you is just different.
Yeah, so Jeff Lentz, he came into the fight 5-1. He was my most winningest opponent that I fought in that moment in my career. That one to another local guy, so it was a lot of build-up. He's great at trash talking and getting into your head. So me and him, in which that didn't bother me at all. I love that. I love how we sold the fight, but we were back and forth, so that was great to get the experience with going back and forth and selling the fight verbally. But in the ring, I thought I had him in the first 2-3 rounds, and I'm throwing all these big shots, and I hit him with a couple good shots, but a lot of them I missed. And now I'm starting to feel my heart pump a little faster. And now I'm starting to breathe a little heavier. And I'm like, holy snap, this guy can move around a little bit. This guy is better than I thought. I'm in a real boxing match here. And this guy has some moves. So I have to be a little smarter with my moves and be a little more calculated. And that's how I did. But, when I realized I started getting a little winded and he started coming on, he started pressing. So I think his game plan the first 2 rounds was to, let the younger guy with all the knockouts come out and try to knock me out, and I'm going to be defensive. And then, he started pressing on the gas. Luckily, I have good feet, and I boxed my way to a victory, and also still landed some good shots. But, it was like, sometimes you have to realize you're not going to knock everybody out. Not everything is going to go your way all the time. There's going to be some bumps in the road. And that definitely was a bump in the road. And definitely give credit to Jeff Lentz. He was a great opponent. And I was glad we were able to give the crowd a good show.
All right, Justin, before I let you go, when people come out the Tropicana showroom in Atlantic City this Saturday to see you fight, what kind of fighter are they going to see? Describe what you do, your craft, your skill in the ring.
Like I said, I'm going for the knockout. I always go for the knockout. I envision many, many times that I'm getting a knockout. I would love to get a knockout victory in front of my people and then perform my signature celebration. I call it the ring worm, but it's when I do the worm, which gets the people pretty fired up. But you're gonna see a lot of skill, man. A lot of composure also. Being a professional with 8 fights, I've developed a lot of composure and learned to take my time and pick my shots more. So you're gonna see very sharp skills, great footwork, great hand speed, power shots, good defense, good placement on my punches. You're just coming in for a great show, good entertainment. I know the crowd is gonna be very, very live. So come out and have a good night, and then after the fights, we're gonna shoot right over to the Vagabond Kitchen and Tap House for the after party and continue the night and keep having a good time.
Best burgers in Atlantic City at Vagabond.
Say again?
Best burgers in Atlantic City are at Vagabond.
Did you hear me say that before on one of my videos?
I did not. That was just
okay.
Me.
So I'm glad we look at the burgers the same. I definitely agree. They have great burgers over there. Probably the best in the city.
Yeah, I say they are the best in the city.
Yeah.
But then I don't have anybody telling me otherwise. I'm here with a microphone. Nobody can turn me off. I'll turn them on.
Got you.
If you disagree with me, I'll just turn off your microphone.
Same. Or they could box me.
They can box you and
I'll
turn off their microphone.
About it. Larry G could set it up. Shout out to Larry G also with Boxing Insiders Promotions. Larry Goldberg has done a phenomenal job as a promoter, and I give him all the credit. And this is going to be a great event because of Larry. So thank you, Larry.
Well, Justin, we appreciate you coming in studio. We look forward to seeing you fight this Saturday. First time in 7 years, Tropicana is going to host an event. And, of course, Justin Figueroa is the undefeated. I always mess up these things. It's a junior middleweight. I almost called you a super middleweight. Junior middleweight. By the way, for those who don't know, what exactly weight is junior middleweight?
So middleweight, a lot of people recognize the weight class as middleweight. Middleweight is 160,
right.
And then I fight at 154 pounds. So they call that junior middleweight. Some people even call it super welterweight.
Now, you comfortable at that weight?
I'm pretty comfortable. I love to eat, but I'm pretty comfortable if I stay super disciplined and stay on the path of the weight cut and my diet. So I do make the weight comfortable. I am the bigger guy in the ring that night.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would be more comfortable at 160, but 154 is a great weight for me to have the advantage. But back to the weight classes, 168 is super middleweight.
Gotcha. So you're junior middleweight.
Junior middleweight, 154 pounds.
Gotcha. So is that one of those deals? I know that's the last question, but just one more. Because
I'm here all day.
I'm picking your brain here.
All good.
I cover boxing and MMA.
I got you.
So, and as you know, the weight classes are completely different in each one. So, but I know from covering both that sometimes guys feel like they grow into weight classes along the way. So do you feel like that your physiology, you're going to eventually grow out of junior middleweight?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I train so hard, and I'm on, I guess my muscles are going to mature, my bone density is going to mature, and then just being more comfortable. Once I get to home and my skills become even more seasoned, then me and my team will make the decision to jump up to 160. But right now, we're learning, we're having a lot of fun, and we're going to use our advantage at 154 at the moment.
Awesome. Justin Figueroa from Atlantic City fighting this Saturday. Tropicana. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com or text it at 609-403-0973 for your chance to win tickets to go see Justin fight this Saturday in Atlantic City. Justin, thanks again for coming in today.
Thank you again for having me. It's been a good time.